What's the first thing you think of when the word diversity comes to mind? I'm sure you immediately think of something like different races, countries, ethnicities, all that stuff. And I don't blame you for that, because that's the first thing I think of too. But I just want you to know that if you thought of that immediately, you're a bad person. I'm kidding, obviously. But I'm going to talk about another part of diversity that most people don't really talk about that much, and it's also not really as visually obvious as that, like sexual orientation or gender identity. Statistics show that 1 in 12 people in the United States alone are affected by the gay. And if you find yourself afflicted with this as well, then I have bad news. It's fatal. Symptoms also align with the ailments: breathing, drinking water, life itself. Call now and get a discounted pride flag. In all seriousness, despite there not being that many people who are part of the LGBTQIA2+, it's still an important part of the US and even the world alone because of how much diversity is added because of it. There's people who like the same gender, different gender, all genders, or no genders at all. And not to forget the people who identify with the birth assigned sex, or the opposite, or all of them, or none of them at all. And I apologize if I didn't mention any more, because out of what I just said, that was only a small taste of the whole of the LGBTQ+, which we're going to call it that for time's sake. If you're wondering why it's really just not becoming a bigger thing, well, there's a reason for that. One of the biggest parts of having pride is being able to be comfortable with oneself. People who are a part of the LGBTQ+, even in just the 80s, weren't as comfortable as they are now, and even then, it's not like it's the most accepted thing ever, and it's still getting to that point. There had been a lot of issues around the world, like a long time ago, that stemmed from in basic terms, homosexuality. A lot of it came from very strong religious beliefs. Not to villainize religion, just talking about where some of it came from. Even now in the woke era, there is still not even enough normalization of all of this stuff. People just need to be able to let others live the way they want to and leave it at that, really. Honestly, it's a lot more complicated than that, and I could honestly add more to this conversation, but I'm not as qualified as others are. I feel like there are a lot more people who are knowledgeable on this, a lot more knowledgeable on this than I am, and I want those people to be able to talk about this issue. And that's why I'm doing this, because I want to bring more light into this, and I want people to join the conversation about all of this. Talking about the stigma, the stereotypes that are blown out of proportion a lot of the time, and even just the whole of it not being normalized. Even if you're just an ally, you could try to spread awareness. That helps a bit, and it's still helpful. And it helps to normalize all of it, really.